This box promises to bring proper Android TV to your TV. But is it a promise worth keeping? And I spent a month with the Mecool KM2 Plus, Google's certified Android TV 10 streaming box. Therefore, I'm here to tell you the whole truth. N for the best price on Amazon. Click the link in the description. N the KM2 Plus comes loaded, Android TV 10, Dolby Vision, 4K HDR10, and an Amlogic S905X4J chip. It sounds like the ultimate upgrade, but here's what surprised me. The software feels more like a beta test than a finished product. Therefore, what you're about to see might save you $100 and a lot of frustration. Let's start with the unboxing. The package is sleek. You get the box, remote, power cable, and an HDMI cable. Setup is straightforward. Plug it in, connect to Wi-Fi, log into your Google account. It feels promising. But then you start navigating. The remote has a Netflix button, a Prime Video button. It's comfortable. However, the first joke of this experience is that the remote might be the most reliable part of the entire system. It's like getting a great steering wheel on a car that won't start. Why is that? Let's dive into the core experience, the Android TV interface. It's clean, it's familiar from other devices. Apps like Netflix, Disney+, YouTube load fine, but performance is inconsistent. The processor should be capable. Therefore, why does scrolling through the Play Store sometimes feel like wading through mud? There's a stutter, a hesitation. It's not constant, but it's frequent enough to annoy. Open loop. Is the hardware weak or is the software poorly optimized? We'll find out. Then we hit the first major problem, Bluetooth. The KM2 Plus has Bluetooth 5.0. You might want to connect headphones or a soundbar, but pairing can be a nightmare. Devices drop connection randomly. Sometimes they won't pair at all. I tried 3 different headphones. 1 worked intermittently, 2 were rejected like bad dates. Therefore, if wireless audio is key for you, this box might already be a deal breaker. Let's talk video playback. The specs shout premium. 4K at 60 FPS, HDR10, HLG, Dolby Vision. I tested multiple streams. Netflix Dolby Vision content looks good when it plays, but here's the twist. I encountered random frame skips, not in every show, but in some. A slight hiccup in the video. It's subtle but maddening, like a tiny scratch on a new car. HDR10 content on other apps sometimes lacked the pop I expected. Therefore, the video promise is only partially delivered. Now the audio. It supports Dolby Audio DTS pass-through. I connected it to a system via HDMI ARC. Sound was generally okay, but there's a known issue with audio sync. In some apps, the audio lagged behind the video slightly. You can adjust delay in settings, but it's a manual fix for a problem that shouldn't exist. Mini promise. The next problem is even more fundamental to an Android TV box. That problem is storage. The KM2 Plus has 16 GB of internal storage. Android TV 10 itself takes a chunk. After installing Netflix, Disney+, Prime Video, Plex, and a few others, you're already nearing capacity. But the real joke here is the second joke. Having a 4K streaming box with no room for apps is like having a sports car with a 1-gallon gas tank. You can't go anywhere. Therefore, you'll constantly be managing apps, deleting things. It severely limits the plus in its name. And what about gaming? It's not a gaming console, but some light Android games are fun. The performance, mediocre. Graphics-intensive games stuttered. The Wi-Fi performance is also a mixed bag. It has dual-band Wi-Fi. But speed tests showed inconsistent results compared to other devices on the same network. Therefore, streaming high bitrate 4K could be risky if your Wi-Fi isn't perfect. Open loop. Is there any area where this box actually excels? One area is codec support. It plays a wide range of file formats via local playback apps like VLC. MKV, AV1, HEVC, it handles them. But even here I hit playback issues with some high bitrate files. Stuttering again. Therefore, its versatility is hampered by the same performance gremlins. Let's discuss the launcher. It's the standard Android TV launcher. You can't change it to a third-party one like Sideload Launcher 3 without rooting, but Mecool's own firmware updates are scarce. The device I tested was running an older security patch. Therefore, you're stuck with what they give you, and they don't give much. \n then, there's the third joke, the Google certified badge. It should mean stability and quality. However, on the KM2 Plus, it feels like Google certified the idea of the box, not the actual experience. It's the philosophical certification of a streaming device. \n we need to talk about the elephant in the room, the pre-installed Mecool app. It's there for firmware updates and something else. It feels redundant, but the bigger issue is background processes. Sometimes the device would slow down inexplicably. A quick check of running services often showed Mecool processes humming along. Therefore, the software isn't just barebones, it might be actively interfering. \n now, the user interface quirks. The settings menu is Android TV standard, but some options are buried or labeled oddly. Finding the audio delay setting wasn't intuitive. Therefore, even simple fixes require unnecessary hunting. \n compare it to the competition. The Amazon Fire Stick 4K Max is cheaper. It's more polished, smoother. The Google Chromecast with Google TV is also smoother, with better integration. But the KM2 Plus has more codec support and an Ethernet option via USB. Therefore, it's a trade-off, raw capability versus daily reliability. Open loop. So after all this, is there a scenario where it's worth buying? \n let's explore that resolution. If you are a very specific user, someone who needs local file playback of odd codecs and has a perfect wired Ethernet connection, and you don't care about Bluetooth or lots of apps, it could work. But for the vast majority, the problems outweigh the specs. Therefore, my honest recommendation for most people is, look elsewhere. \n the fourth and final joke, calling this device the KM2 Plus is like calling a flat tire a low-pressure performance enhancement. It's adding irony, not value. \n what should you buy instead? For a polished, reliable Android TV experience, the Chromecast with Google TV is superb. For a broader app ecosystem and great value, the Fire Stick 4K Max is excellent. Both have consistent performance. Therefore, they deliver what the KM2 Plus promises but fails to give. \n to wrap up, the Mecool KM2 Plus is a box of good intentions and poor execution. The hardware specs read well on paper, but the software experience is riddled with inconsistencies. Bluetooth issues, performance stutters, limited storage, and update neglect. Therefore, it creates frustration where it should create convenience. \n if you're still considering it for its niche features, proceed with extreme caution. But for everyone else seeking a smooth, reliable streaming upgrade, this is not your box. Therefore, don't buy the Mecool KM2 Plus unless you're ready to tinker and tolerate. \n for the best price on Amazon for the alternatives I mentioned, click the link in the description. Thanks for watching.